welcome to everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us this morning. With me, I've got Florin Grigorescu from Romania. He is the head of the Academic Alliance at UiPath, and he is very well versed in the world of agentic automation and agentic AI. So Florin's been with UiPath for about 4 years now. He's had a lot of experience in understanding what skills gaps there are in this global industry, if we can put it that way, and how the transition between robotic process automation has transformed into what we now refer to as agentic automation or agentic process automation. So Florin, thank you very much for joining us today. We're very excited to hear what you have to say, and thank you so much for taking the time to be with us.
Thank you so much, Jacqui. Thank you, Yanni. Thank you, everyone involved in organizing this wonderful event. I'm happy to talk about something that I'm really passionate about. I'm working in the industry for almost 10 years now, but in UiPath just for the 4 that Jacqui mentioned. I'm really happy to have this opportunity. So I think, should we dive right into?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Perfect. So thank you once again for spending the time today to discuss how UiPath can help transform the way you and your teams work through automation and orchestration. Now, the future of every company's success depends on 2 things. It's robotic automation and agentic automation. Robotic automation handles the repetitive task with speed and precision, while agentic automation brings the intelligence, adaptability, and decision-making into the mix. UiPath is the only provider that combines both capabilities on a single platform, giving you the power to automate end-to-end processes seamlessly. And here's the philosophy behind it all. So agents think, robots do, and people lead. This means your people will always stay in control. The people of a company stay in control, while robots and agents work together to deliver efficiency and innovation. But before I talk more about agents and agentic automation, allow me to take a step back and talk about where it all started. As everybody is saying by now, Act 1 represented robotic process automation, or RPA for short. This, as hopefully most of you know by now, is a software technology that makes it easy to build, deploy, and manage a software robot that emulates humans' actions interacting with digital systems and software. Now, just like people, software robots can do things like understand what's on a screen, complete the right keystrokes, navigate through systems, identify and extract data, and perform a wide range of defined actions. But obviously, software robots can do it faster and more consistently than people, without the need to get up and stretch or take a coffee break. Let's take a moment to look at what software robots can do. So, as I said, these robots are designed to take over repetitive, rule-based tasks that consume time and resources. For example, robots can log into any application, move files and folders, read and write to databases. They can also scrape the data from the web, which is incredibly useful for research and reporting. On the integration side, though, robots can connect to system APIs, extract content from documents, PDFs, emails, and forms, and even open the emails and attachments that you receive. Finally, they can make calculation, ensuring accuracy and speed in processes that would otherwise require manual effort is handled quickly. In short, if it's repetitive, structured, and rule-based, robots can do it. Now that we've seen what robots can do, the next question is, what processes should you automate if you have that in your company? So the industry standard will always recommend you to start with processes that have a standard readable electronic input type. So these are easy to capture and process. Then look at highly manual and repetitive processes that consume time and resources. Focus on processes with low execution rate and those that are rule-based. because these are the predictable and ideal for automation. Other great candidates include high volume, low complexity tasks, stable processes with consistent underlying application, and processes performed by large teams where automation can free up significant capacity. Finally, consider mature swivel chair processes, those that involve moving between multiple systems manually. These are the perfect candidates for automation. The key takeaway: start with processes that are structured, repetitive, and high impact. As organizations embrace the automation first mindset, we're seeing a whole new set of roles emerging. Roles that didn't exist like 10 years ago. At the core, we have the RPA developers and RPA citizen developers. They are the ones who are designing and building the automation workflow. Then we have the RPA users. These are the people who interact with the solutions daily and make their work easier and more efficient. Supporting them are the RPA business analysts who identify automation opportunities, and then finally the RPA solution architects, the one that they design the scalable frameworks of automation. So the key takeaway here: automation isn't eliminating jobs, it's creating new specialized roles that drive innovation and efficiency in the digital economy. Now that we've seen where it all started and what automation is all about, let's see how they're connected with the agents. We now know robots are best for routine tasks that require high reliability and efficiency. Agents are best for ad hoc tasks that require high adaptability. By orchestrating the right balance, UiPath delivers the end-to-end agentic automation that can scale and adapt to evolving businesses' needs without compromising on governance, consistency, or results. Both are essential for end-to-end processes, and together they form let's say, a powerful combination that covers the full spectrum of process requirements. Robots excel at predictable rule-based tasks, while agents are goal-based and can understand context, adapt to changing situations, and make the decisions. The platform, the UiPath platform, gives the agents enough autonomy to tackle complex goals while maintaining clear governance. This includes prompt tuning, dynamic evaluations, and strict context boundaries, ensuring that agents act independently but always stay within the organization's compliance and quality frameworks. UiPath allows you to gain these advantages and these capabilities without losing the reliability and oversight as an enterprise. Right now, all of this translates into a lot of buzzwords, right? So agents, bots, agentic automation. In reality, the truth is this isn't just about technology. It's all about strategy, competitiveness, and future readiness. Are you exploring opportunities to integrate agentic automation? Are you thinking about how it can transform your workflow, improve decision making, and unlock new efficiencies? Take a moment to reflect on where you are today and where you want to be tomorrow, because the companies that are starting and planning to today will lead the way in this new era of automation. In this sense, we've helped many companies from all industries in and out with all kinds of challenges, from working HR, finance, and supply chain across many industries to fine-tuning solutions specifically for these companies. the truth is, UiPath has been in the AI and automation space longer than some realize. It is the history and experience that makes us uniquely qualified to help any company like no other. Over the past decade, UiPath has evolved from task-based RPA into a comprehensive automation platform. We started by streamlining repetitive work with software robots, then advanced to integrating machine learning and intelligent document processing. Along the way, we built a seamless collaboration between humans and automations, enabling smarter decision and faster execution across businesses. This journey laid the entire foundation for what we have become today, the leading end-to-end business automation platform. But let's talk about a little about how we got here and what it's still plaguing the enterprise companies. We know the landscape is ever changing. This is something that everybody knows by now, that the only constant is change. Now, AI technologies seem to be popping up all over the place with promises to simplify your life, both personally and professionally. However, not all technology can deliver on their promises of scalable automation, and in turn can put pressure on teams to deliver. In my opinion, there are three big things that hinder the acceleration and efficiency in these companies. Currently, we're seeing enterprise applications like SAP and Salesforce that cannot meet 20% of the business requirements for touchless transactions. So the ones that you see that, okay, that can be automated. Why isn't automated yet? And this is mainly due to the process variation and requirements that differ in different regions and with different customers or other common nuances that prevent a truly touchless transactions. So what do you do to manage that 20%? UiPath sees two things happening. First, most of organizations will try to build custom applications or interfaces that can help close the gap a little. But the result, although it might come in handy just to create that application, the result is an overburdened IT team. Adding AI components to that, and each with their own DevOps cycle, and you are wasting resources on theories to get closer to 100% touchless with no guarantee to success. The second thing is that business users are also doing the manual work to close this last mile process gap. So they solve this on their own, which creates some sort of tribal knowledge and technical debt, impacting processes owners and IT alike. Generative AI tools turn natural language into a programming language, creating a new type of potential technical debt. But anyone can build a simple agent. And this leads to, so if you don't handle this, obviously this will lead to negative results for you and your team. The problems that arise from companies not taking a holistic approach on automation is that, how to put it, the organizations that have actually started to deliver some agentic automations are now discussing the unforeseen risks and problems. First, the technical debt. Companies promising they can fill this gap are simply building point solutions that will create more debt and slow you down if they are not orchestrated and streamlined across multiple groups. IT overload. If technical teams are needed to create agents and bots to get these processes across the line, IT will not be able to support. So low-code options open up non-technical teams to help build and create own solutions. Thirdly, the behind the curve on leveraging AI. Those that don't adopt AI and automation will continue to lag in the evolution of business and where industries are going. So having to go build, you will have to go to build a bunch of applications and stuff to keep up. Now, to solve these challenges in any process, a company would likely invest in 4 different technologies, and a lot of people would do this. So for the paper challenge, for the bureaucracy, that's for an IDB, for an intelligent document process. You want someone to make intelligent decisions, then you use agents. For working across applications and interfaces, easy. UI and RPA automations. And for resolutions and close, well, that's the human in the loop. You cannot ever exclude the human in the loop for the resolution and closing. So we are now creating a complex ecosystem of tech and vendors to manage to complete a simple process. UiPath Agentic Automation is suited for activities, workflow, and processes. With activities, we have the market-leading solutions that we introduced over the year that are building blocks of our platform, including interrogation via user interface or API with any application. Intelligent document processing, front-end user interfaces, and LLM-powered activities. With workflows, we see these building blocks come together in robotic and agentic workflows that leverage human in the loop, as well as automated testing of robots, agents, and applications. And when talking about processes, you just simply deploy these workflows in a production level manner that include process modeling, real-time monitoring, and orchestrations to ensure the right resource is performing the right task at the right time. The key takeaway from this, you control your information across the platform. You integrate with your existing tech stack. You have an AI trust layer to use the best models available while protecting the data, and you have a development experience appropriate to all levels, from the business users to the professional developer. Where most companies will go is the point solutions. These technologies can get pieced together through custom apps or workflows, but if one piece breaks or needs to change, it can break the end-to-end process. So this is not scalable or reliable for most companies, and likely will still require more human intervention to complete the process. So obviously there's no improvement there. So what we are seeing successful companies doing today is to truly streamline and automate the processes in having these technologies all on one platform that has has an orchestration layer, if you may, that can ensure the right technology, the right person at the right time. So all in one platform. And this is where UiPath's agentic orchestrations come in. Leveraging agentic orchestration and utilizing the various technologies that solve the challenges in your process to move it to completion. Okay, so what is this groundbreaking technology called agentic orchestration? Simply put it, it's making sure the robots you have built the humans that you have in your team are aligned and play their roles with the agents and help orchestrate the pivotal actions that you have in your process, in your business. So robots are rule-based, so it's pretty binary. It's with either yes or no, approve or reject. Agents are goal-based. They are able to use the context to make the decisions that help get the desired result. It allows the agents that you build to make decisions, direct the robots, and keep humans involved in the process as needed. So the UiPath platform has the unique ability to orchestrate agents, robots, people, and APIs across the end-to-end workflows that you have. We support full processes, instance management, complete process lifecycle management and analytics, and this empowers the customers to automate, model, and monitor complex business processes from start to finish. And we do all of this within a single platform that's system agnostic and flexible. Now, moving forward, I want to talk to you about what makes UiPath uniquely positioned to lead this evolution. So, talking about the platform, the UiPath platform is open and always has been. We would not be able to support and work with the customers with I don't know, you name it, from Capgemini to Air Force to all kind of banking organizations. Openness is foundational to our success and will continue on how we think about agents. Agents, not just as agents, but think of a tool that you can trust. It can work independently and make dynamic decisions. So we give both a low and a pro code agent design, and we integrate within with frameworks. We interact with all of these agents to build other parts of businesses. So once you have them built, you can then look at orchestration. As I've said, the end-to-end processes with robots, agents, and peoples, all in one place. Right tool for the right job for the right person. So our product name is Maestro for that. And what this means is we can call SAP Jewel, we can call Salesforce Agent Force. We can then stitch together other automations or call an agent you built in a supply chain function. All of this is built on our own automation platform. And this continues to lead in breadth of capabilities and reliabilities across UI, API, IDP, test, and PM. This allows us to string everything together seamlessly across bots, agents, and human, and deliver our trusted cloud to give you confidence and peace of mind that your data, your customer data, or whatever data that, for that matter, that you process, you build, are secure. It is the reason that we are the most complete platform that you can use today. UiPath recommends, from a development point of view, a phased approach on how you can work through the development phase to the a life cycle, right? So to assess, you need to evaluate the suitability of agentic automation for your enterprise tasks, understand where automation can deliver the most impact, to identify pinpoint high value opportunities for agentic automation, focus on areas that yield substantial benefits and align with business goals. To engage, collaborate with UiPath experts to adopt and integrate robust solutions. Ensure proper planning and stakeholder involvement. To deploy, you implement automation through a phased approach. Start small, validate results, and scale gradually. And in order to monitor and optimize for the last part, well, this means that you continuously evaluate performance of deployed agents, adjust and optimize for efficiency and evolving needs. So the key takeaway from this is think big, start small strategy that ensures scalable and sustainable automation processes. As we look ahead, preparing for the future with agents involves 3 key steps. First, continue building tools. This means delivering immediate business value while laying the foundation for powerful agent tools. These tools should include seamless human-in-the-loop capabilities, orchestration, and governance to ensure control and compliance. Second, unlock more data. Data is the fuel for intelligent automation. By leveraging the best-in-class intelligent document processing, we can transform unobstructed content or scanned documents into actionable data with high accuracy, fine-tuning, and confidence thresholds. And finally, start with the supervised agents. So begin by deploying supervised agents, what we call autopilot. In your organization, over time, these agents can evolve into fully autonomous agents. So you can upgrade them, if you will, giving you a safe and scalable path towards the agentic future, and being able not to overcommit the work or develop additional on existing supervised agents that are already doing a great job. So the key takeaway here is start practical, build capabilities, and scale intelligently. Before I dive into the next part of my presentation, it's actually my favorite part. It's about the Academic Alliance and certifications. I do want to pause though, as I finish with the technical aspect of what UiPath has to offer, and clarify any kind of questions that might be.
Do we have any questions for Florin? I see the chat at the moment is empty, so if you have any questions, you're welcome to either unmute yourself or to pop them into the chat.
Yes or not, we will keep them at the end.
Perfect.
Okay. Now, as I've said, I promise I'm reaching the end, but it obviously wouldn't be the end without the part I live for and I love to work for. So the academic environment and the realistic opportunities I'm trying to give students and professionals that wish to make a change from perspective or industry aspect, so that they have a head start in their career lives. These slides summaries my heart's work in the last 2 years. The vision of the Academic Alliance and how we create a structured pathway from learning to career opportunities. We start with academy learning paths, instructor-led trainings, and self-learning resources. this formed the foundation for students and professionals to build automation skills. Additionally, we partner with universities and colleges to drive workforce development through learning programs and community engagement. Obviously, this ensures that automation education is embedded in the academic curricula. Some of the best examples, if not the best, are these amazing partnerships that I'm driving with the Belgium Campus, iTversity, and SAICTA. We push relevant content towards students because from the learning path, students, learners move to the certification stage. So it's either getting certified for the first time or simply validating existing certifications. Once certified, a candidate that has gone through the candidate goes through UiPath screening, which connects them directly with our customers, partners, and UiPath itself for job opportunities. So finally, these ecosystems attracts sponsorships and investments, creating a sustainable model that benefits learners, institutions, and industry partners. Partners all around the world are looking to hire people and students that got their certification through the Academic Alliance program that I'm leading. Not because of me, although I'd love that to happen at some point. It's Florin. I know that guy. He launched a lot of talent. It will happen. I promise you, it will happen. But at the moment, it happens because this is a reliable framework. People are getting certified and are getting jobs. Partners are signing the commitment to bring to job interviews these people because of the sturdy and stable learning and certification environment that we promote. So the key takeaway here, that UiPath Academic Alliance bridges the gap between education and employment. These slides show the UiPath Certified Professional Program. This is designed to build the strong foundation for automation excellence. The program offers two levels, associate and professional, covering key roles essential for creating a center of excellence. At the associate level, certifications include Agentic Automation, Business Analyst, and Automation Developer. This is ideal for those who are just starting their automation journey. At the professional level, we go deeper with certifications for solution architect, specialized AI software testing, and infrastructure engineer roles. These certifications validate skills across the entire automation spectrum. So from building and managing robots to designing intelligent workflows and integrating AI. As a fun fact, 88% of the people in the entire Africa continent who have obtained at least one certification are working in the industry. So not only working, but they're active in the industry. So from my point of view, 88% is a big number and should speak volumes for those seeking a solid professional career. The key takeaway, UiPath certifications help individuals and organizations develop the expertise needed to lead in automation first world. And this is the end. Let's pause for a moment and ask, what if you wait? Because the reality is the future won't wait. Technology, as I said, is moving fast, and the companies that act today will lead tomorrow. Agentic automation isn't just a buzzword. It's not just a trend. It's a competitive advantage, and waiting means actually falling behind. While acting now positions you to the forefront of innovation. So the question here is, are you ready to put agentic automation to work? Because this is the start. This is the start. This is where the clock starts. And to show you a token of my appreciation for listening to me this past half an hour, I'd like to offer you the opportunity of becoming a UiPath Agentic Automation professional by giving you a discounted voucher. Just reach out to me or Jacqui. Thank you for having me. And I guess, Jacqui, we can let the questions flow, right?
Yeah, we definitely can. I can already see there's quite a few in the chat. So Taban has asked, what are the most critical components to prioritize when you're designing an agentic system from the ground up? And where do you see the biggest potential opportunity or biggest opportunity gap for startups to plug into in this automation wave?
Oh, fantastic question. So from the ground up, make sure you have all the processes inside your company automated. Even sorry, even if we're talking about 10% of the process that can be automated, right? That 10% can make a huge difference. Let me think of an example real quick. So let's say that I'm moving a lot of financial documents physically from one department to another. But these documents have to be completed at some point. Just add another column from an Excel, then print it out, then ship it to another location. That new column that is done in Excel, that seems like a repetitive task, right? Like even if it's in small volumes, if you do it daily, then it's worth automating it. Have this in place, have a lot of automation in place, then think about agentic. And what was the following question?
I'll go on to the following question next. I just want to add on to your answer as well, Flo. So, Taban, I think very much to what Florin has said, I think being able to understand the processes in your organization definitely is the first step. And generally what makes agentic automation or robotic process automation different to other traditional software development is that the most important part of the process is actually the planning. So if you don't know your process and you don't know all the steps and you kind of want to figure it out as you go, your chance to fail is a lot higher. So one of the biggest gaps that we see in the South African market is that there aren't many process analysts. There aren't many people who have the skills to understand a process and to design it out end to end. And I see you do have a follow-up question about architectural principles, which we can get to in a bit. But I think to answer your question around the gap, the development is important, but the reality is that platforms like UiPath, and there are many others out there that have now started to enable citizen development, means that anybody can create the development of the process themselves. They can improve their own productivity. Whereas being able to understand what to improve and what to look at and where you're actually going to get a return on investment is the most important part of automation. Because exactly what Flo was saying earlier, you can take use cases where you can understand your entire ecosystem, all of your processes that can be automated. But one of the biggest benefits of starting an automation journey now is also understanding if your automation is going to be viable for your company. So the last thing you want to do is actually spend more money implementing an automation if it's not actually going to return that value back to you. So return on investment is a very big thing that we start to look at from the beginning already. And that's where we start to look at the potential savings versus, what the potential cost is and if there's variability and so on. So I'll share some links in the chat as well around how you can actually evaluate which processes are good for automation and which ones aren't. I think a bigger part of this conversation, which Florin spoke about in the beginning, is that not all robotic process automations are going to become agents, and not all agents will become robotic process automation processes or have RPA processes in the back. So it's important to still understand there's a distinction and there are very specific elements that you're going to use at specific times. Okay, then Flo, David has a question. So he says he might have missed this, but are there any services that are offered in the South African region? I'm interested in data residency if using hybrid or purely cloud deployments. I don't know if you want to take that one, Flo, or if you'd like me to answer.
Yeah, you can. So I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to.
Hello.
Yep.
Maybe I can just add a bit there.
Perfect.
So I have been
Please.
going through the website, and one of the things that I noticed is that the models, for example, The regions that are specified on the site, it's either Europe, Japan, or United States. And in
Yes.
South Africa, there is a growing trend of
Yes.
customers being concerned with where their data is going. So
Definitely.
I just wanted to find out about that. Are there any African consideration?
There definitely are. So, sorry, but
What?
do you want to
Yeah.
take it?
Yeah. So what I know of, some of the information that I have might be outdated, but there is let's say a hyperscale cloud presence in South Africa. So Microsoft
Yeah.
Azure has enterprise grade. Apologies for this. Enterprise grade data centers regions in Joburg and Cape Town. Google Cloud has launched in Joburg as well. Not sure about AWS though.
Yeah, we've got AWS here as well.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Yeah. So that's what I know of in terms of.
So maybe just to add on to what Flo's saying as well, so the relevance of having the big cloud providers in South Africa, as well as that there is a model that allows you to deploy the UiPath architecture and infrastructure onto your own cloud infrastructure. So you can create a hybrid deployment of UiPath on Azure that is based in South Africa. And then when you're using things like document understanding, which is a product set, you can bring your own models. So you can create your own models in our own region and then connect them up to the trust layer, and you can still continue to utilize them.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for the question, David. Okay, then Flo, we've got a follow-up from Taban. What architectural principles or frameworks would be best or would best support the development of a unified AI-powered infrastructure that can manage real-time data, finance, security, and customer interaction across multiple business verticals?
So I have in mind some core frameworks, so to say. Again, don't take my word for granted. But from what I know and what I had the discussions with the technical team, I know that the core frameworks are relying on event streaming, so for real-time data flows. The human in the loop orchestrations for finance and for finance processes. The AI trust layer that I've talked about in the presentations is used for the safe and observable agent behavior. So that's my technical, let's say, extensions that I have.
Awesome. Thank you, Flo. I hope that answers your question, Taban. If it doesn't, please just pop a follow-up. I see you do have another follow-up. So, Flo, we've got, let me just read it out. In an era where agentic systems are becoming the core of execution, where should someone who's already been building and experimenting with AI focus their energy to create the most real-world impact? Build more or position better?
I'd say shift your focus from just building more models or tools to positioning it better. For instance, embedding what you've already built into real business workflow systems and decisions. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly there. Does that answer your question, Taban? Fabulous. Do we have any other questions? Fabulous. Thank you so much, Taban. Awesome. I'm going to just give it another minute or so for any other questions, and then we can wrap up. Okay, I'm not seeing any movement in the chat. Okay, there we go. It's on. As agentic systems scale, what are the most effective API integration patterns to ensure different AI agents or automation layers can communicate seamlessly without breaking execution flows?
I think the event-driven and pub-sub integration, command and callback, so async API, I'd say orchestration gateway.
Trust layer, definitely the trust layer.
Yeah, API mesh layer.
And I think one of the core technologies that enable agentic automation in this environment at the moment is very much being able to bring the human back into the loop of what is happening in your environment. So having AI built into systems isn't something new. We've had, document extraction where we've used different AI models to understand what is happening in documents and find fields and those kinds of things. And that's kind of been pulled through into solutions. That isn't necessarily exceptionally new, but what has been very applicable to the success of those technologies is having humans validate what is actually coming out of those models. And we're seeing the same in agentic AI. So things like Action Center, things like custom built apps where you can actually surface the information that you're working with and actually give the person who's working with this or the business user an understanding of what the process is doing also helps with the success and the adoption of automations and agentic solutions. Because something we see a lot of as well is you can build an agentic solution or an agentic system, but if people don't know how to use it or don't understand how it works or what it's doing, the adoption is going to be very low. Okay, we've got a few more here. Taban, I'm going to come back to your next question at the end. Joshua, we've got one from Joshua. How does system communication as agentic systems between big data help create less complex systems?
Let me think a bit. Big data usually end up in a monolithic and siloed. So the analytics pipeline and business logic all run in separate stacks. This require manual coordination and hefty integrations. What the agentic system communication changes is that introduces autonomous event-driven communication between the components. To reduce complexity, I would go with the event-driven interfaces that replace batch coupling, declarative communication, so not procedural, micro responsibility. That's something that I also I know that I got a glimpse of that with the technical team. So each agent should own a slice of the logic, data cleansing, anomaly detection, forecastings, systems that would evolve independently. I'm afraid more I'm not able to answer. But I would happily take the questions to the technical team if you'd like to have more insight.
Awesome, thank you, Flo. I think also maybe just one of the things that generally tend to happen in big data environments is that there is so much data. As soon as you add context to the data, it becomes a little easier to manage. And I think that's what agents are really good at, is looking at all the data you have and figuring out what context is applicable. So I think that's definitely a really good aspect of what is happening with the agentic systems that are being introduced into the space. And I think that leads nicely onto what we've got from Yanni. So Yanni has dropped something in the chat. I'm just going to read it quickly. From your global experience, what foundations should African organizations build now in skills, data, and governance to benefit from agentic AI rather than being left behind?
That's simple. I mean, just use all the free content that UiPath has at everyone's disposal to get certified, to get the accreditations in building these skills. As I've said in the presentation, more than 88% of the people having one of these UiPath certifications are working in the industry. So this is a strong trust that companies is offering to the market. So I'm not talking from UiPath's point of view. It's obvious from UiPath's point of view. Okay, the product, the certifications, the accreditations, the content is validated. Yeah, because the people are hiring these people. But from your point of view of a person who is just starting or looking to start to get these skills, there is no better vetting, so to say. So foundations that are not including the courses and the materials and the certifications that we are putting at your disposals should obviously introduce this as soon as possible.
Thank you, Flo. Okay, and then I'm just going to close off with a few questions that we have left. So Andres has asked in the chat, if we choose to use UiPath Document Understanding to receive receipts for a business, would an agent need to gain or use gained insights, like at which times products are bought, identify demand at specific times in a year, and then provide insights for stock control at a warehouse?
So let me clarify a bit. So the document understanding job is to extract the structured data from unstructured documents, right? Where the agents, sorry, an AI or analytics agent would sit on top of what that extracted data, on that extracted data. So it would identify peak demand periods. You can find trends. You can even produce the stock control recommendations, and on its own, it can even trigger out other automations for I don't know. Let's have like a supplier alert or pricing adjustment. So yes, an agent is needed to transform the document's understandings, raw extracted data into actionable insights and automated decisions. I think that was the question, right?
Yeah, I think that does lead quite nicely into it. I think there's a lot that you can do from that perspective. And there's different tools and technologies and platforms you can bring together. And it kind of leans on what Taban was asking from an API perspective. How can you use different APIs from different systems to, broker some of this knowledge? I do just want to close off with one last question because we are out of time. So Neo has said, hi there. I'm a graphic designer who works on WordPress sites primarily. There we go. The only automation platform I have tested was Zapier for transferring form entries to a live MS Excel sheet. And this was for the team that was responsible for doing follow-ups. How steep would the learning curve be for someone with very little coding knowledge and experience? I would love to start building some automations that will help streamline some of the background tasks for the team that I work in.
The good news is that UiPath is built for businesses, users, and creative professionals, not just developers. So if you've already used Zapier, you already understand the core mindset. When X happens, do Y automatically. So for someone comfortable with creative software like and Zapier, the learning curve is moderate but manageable. I would say about 2 to 4 weeks of consistent practice to build useful automations. You don't need to become a developer. You just need to think in steps, triggers, and outcomes. The same way you already plan design or web projects.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Flo. Yanni, we have a question for you. I think this is probably best directed towards you. How does one work at SAICTA as a tech engineer?
That's a good one. That will definitely be something that I think we can bring in when we start our professional panels. And that'll be a great one. And then also through our chapters can be a very, very good one. One I can mention, for example, is the competition we're going to do for the youth at our next international conference, where the sub-themes will be given as a challenge to the youth across the continent to come up with solutions, to come up with proposals, to come up with specific project solutions, and that will go out soon so they can work in teams. So there's some possibilities that we will in future share with them.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Annie. All right, then we've got a question from Dieter as well, and then I'm going to close off. So Dieter says, hi there, Florin. I'm a developer and I'm a data hoarder as I'm active in the web media data archival projects. I love automated scraping and do it as a hobby. I'm just curious as to if there is a job market for web scraping or even projects that you know of that are community driven that Dieter could join.
So there's definitely jobs in the market that are niched from the automation point of view to just scraping. So there's definitely a place. I'm not aware of communities at the moment, as I'm not in the, let's say, job market, not actively looking to the job market to see what's happening there. From this point of view, I know that the agent part has developed in several categories as prompt engineer for design, prompt engineer for supply management. So if the simple prompt engineer job has ramificated to all kind of varieties, I'm sure that there are some scraping, let's say, positions for a scraping engineer, so to say.
Awesome. Thanks, Flo. I think also maybe just to add on that, in the South African market, I think there are still a lot of researchers specifically in different domains that don't necessarily do this optimally yet. So I think if you were looking for a position to practice this and kind of turn it into maybe a smaller side business or become a bit of an entrepreneur around that data, I think you'd probably have a lot of luck trying to help people with their research who need data to be able to put something like this together. Awesome. Then just to wrap up, I think we will also just send through some of the information around Florin's contact details and then just share some of the content that he has shared with us today in terms of where you can go to the Academy to do training, platforms you can leverage to join some of these initiatives where you can get free certifications, so on and so forth.
Perfect. Thank
you.
So
again, thank you very much, everybody, for joining. Thank you so much, Florin, for sharing your knowledge. As always, it's a treat having you present to us and share
Likewise.
what is new and happening in the market. Thank you very much, Jacqui. I don't know if you have any final words that you'd like to share with us.
Yeah, just to say, Florin, great to see you again. Thank you for an excellent presentation, and I think our audience learned quite a lot from what you shared with them, and we look forward to building our relationship with you even further. And Jacqui, thank you for being our anchor. Much appreciated.